Hello, and thank you for joining me today as we talk about Future Entrepreneur Conference of 2025, Navigating Market Structure, a guide for aspiring entrepreneurs. I am your host, Tanesha Wallace. This is for course bus 224, Unit 6. The professor is Fanta, and the date that this was recorded is July 10th of 2025. Let's go ahead and begin. Again, I'm your host, Tanesha Wallace. Hi, everyone. And I'm the owner of Smiles for Miles Travel, where I help families, groups, and dreamers see the world, whether by sea or sand. I've built my business from the ground up, so today I want to share how understanding market structures can guide your next move. From agriculture to cruise industries, we'll break it down so you can walk away ready to take your next step with confidence. Let's talk about what are market structures. Market structures are basically the game board your business plays on. Knowing the rules of that game, who you're competing with, what customers expect, and how prices are set can make or break your success. I'll walk you through each one with real-world examples, including from the travel world where I live and breathe. Right now, we're going to talk about how do business operate and compete. A business operates by delivering either products or offering a service. They set prices based on market structure and they adapt their business to customers' needs and to the market trends. Pricing, customer experience, and strategy. What does that entail? So, control over price settings differentiates how to attract and keep customers. You also want to shape your market so it is innovative and also making competitive decisions. There are four types of market structures. There's perfect, monopolistic, oligopoly, and monopoly. So let's find out what these are. And this is a quick comparison. Some structures are wide open for new players, while others are dominated by giants. The cruise industry is a great case study for oligopoly. I'll talk about that when we get there. So right now, perfect competition with one structure. It has many sellers. It's identical products, and there's no really pricing power. If you want to use something like that, we're going to use wheat, for example. A monopolistic competition has many sellers, has a unique vibe, and some pricing power. If you want an example of that, hey, let's look at different type of maybe restaurants or different type of shoemakers, you know. And then oligopoly has a few big players, heavy marketing and price influence. Maybe you could use it like, oh, let's say Instagram or Facebook or even TikTok. And a monopoly has one seller, rules it all, and often is regulated. We could use someone that does something like that, maybe hospitals, car dealerships, when I'm like the big companies such as Ford, Chevy, Toyota, things like that. So perfect competition would be agriculture. So wheat farming is a good example of perfect competition. One farmer can't set the price of wheat. It's driven by the market forces. It's a tough game because it's all about efficiency, not much room for innovation or branding here. So again, the example I've used was wheat farming. There are thousands of small farmers. They have identical products, which equals pricing control. There's low startup barriers. You got to have land, you got to have laborers, and you have to have the tools to be able to collect the wheat. And it's highly competitive and it is seasonal. Next, we're going to talk about a monopolistic competition, which would be independent travel agencies. Okay. This is where I thrive. Travel agents operate in a monopolistic competition. We offer similar services, but it's how we personalize the experience that makes us stand out. I focus on groups, cruises, and once in a lifetime experience. My brand is Miles for Mouse Travel. It's not just about booking travel or trips. It's about building unforgettable moments in the space where relationships and trust are everything. Because one thing about the market with travel agencies, there are many agents that offer similar services. We have to be pretty competitive with our branding, with our services, and of course with our niches. There's moderate startup barriers. So you can start with a franchise similar to how I did, or you can come and start up your own company from the ground up. And there is some control over pricings because some agents may charge a service fee just for using their services, just for calling them to ask you to look up a vacation for them. Okay. And we're going to talk about oligopoly. This cruise industry is pretty much a good example of oligopoly. Royal Caribbean and Carnival are two big dogs here. Are you thinking about starting your own cruise line? Not likely, unless you've got billions lying around. But working within the industry like I do can open doors. Travel agencies or travel agents can earn commissions, build partnerships, and even charter group sailings for major events. The competition is stiff, but it is manageable when you find the right lane. So, an oligopoly has few major cruise lines that dominate the seas. Again, some of the big names that people know, of course, are Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian, even Celebrity, and even MSC. There is definitely a huge investment, and it's a high entry barrier because, again, you have to have billions of dollars. A lot of shareholders have to be involved in this. You got to be able to have a place to fix the boat if it needs repair, renovations, and you also have to have a crew. You have to have people that will help clean the ship, also help prepare the food. So it's not just something you would just wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to start my own cruise lines. And there is control over prices, but it is competitive deals. We all know that there are deals that come out, especially around the not so travel season, like once school starts or towards the end of the year. Not a lot of people are traveling, but definitely around the summertime, travel is really booming because people want to take vacations, and that is usually when the rates are pretty high. So it's best to go ahead, a little tidbit, if you're thinking about booking a trip or a cruise, book in the winter because you'll get better rates. And of course, there's also a thing called pricing war. They can offer loyalty programs. And of course, now the new thing is mega ships, which equal constant innovation. These ships are so big, so nice. They're massive cities pretty much on the sea. And if you haven't had the opportunity to get on a cruise ship, I would say, hey, just get on out there and try it. Just once. And let's talk about what structures that work best. In a free market, competition is key. That's where we get better services, better prices, and more innovation. Monopolistic competition, like in the travel industry, gives room to grow and room to shine, especially when you're just starting out. So let's think about this now. It's perfect, and a monopolistic competition encourages innovation. It makes you think outside the box to, be able to advertise to a certain customer that wants to come and utilize your service. What can you offer that is different than calling the vendors, the main vendors, and speaking to one of their representatives? One thing that I always offer, and I state, is like, you can call me anytime. You're not going to get a different rep when you call me. I'm here to offer you personalized service. You can call me, you can text me. I'm going to be the one to help you. And then I'm going to be the one to take care of any of the little fires that may pop up, because things happen. And that's what separates me from calling the big vendor, the personalized, personal service, the one-on-one treatment that I tend to offer. The second thing is oligopolists can deliver value, but limit new competition. Monopolistic competition equals best combo of creativity and opportunity. And of course, monopoly, slow innovation and choice. So again, if you're working with a big brand or it's a big company, they have little room where they can actually rebrand themselves. For example, the way Carnival right now is restructuring some of their rules and trying to restructure and redefine what Carnival has and bring aboard a different group of people, which has a lot of people in uproar about some of the things they are not allowing, which is a good thing. And it can also deter them from making a profit, but they also are trying to rebrand themselves. So you got to have to take some good with the bad. And over time, people will get used to it. So, some advice for future entrepreneurs: know what kind of game you're playing. If you're in a monopolistic competition like me, your brand, your service, and your relationship are your biggest weapons. Don't worry about having the lowest prices, worry about having the best experience. That's how you build loyalty. And that's how you become loyal to your clients who refer and return. So you want to be able to bring back a client. And the best way that I know that I have offered service, the best service to my client, is when they send me referrals. I love referrals. That tells me I did a good job for them, good enough that they want to send me clients. I also try to mimic people who or other businesses that offer exceptional service. And one of the things, or one of the people that I am following right now is Ritz Carlton. They've been in business forever, and I kind of go off of their customer service plan and how they exceed the customer's expectation, how I should come with a little bit of more class when I'm dealing with people, regardless if they're spending $500 or even $50,000. I try to make sure I treat all of my clients the same across the board, because once you're getting the habit of treating people with kindness and care, it doesn't matter. I want them to have the experience that they're looking for. I ask questions and I try to deliver the best experience I can. And I hope that you enjoyed my presentation. Here is my references. And thank you. If you need to contact me, my email address is left down below. I appreciate you taking the time out and watching my video, and I wish you a great day.